When this pandemic crisis is over, how much power and control does the government plan to have over your life? I'm Christian Gomez, and you're watching JBS Straight Talk. During a CNN interview, Dr. Anthony Fauci, the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, revealed that the federal government has discussed requiring Americans to carry certificates of immunity for the coronavirus after there's been widespread antibody testing. Here's the exchange.
Can you imagine a time where Americans carry certificates of immunity?
That's possible. I mean, it's one of those things that we talk about when we want to make sure that we know who the vulnerable people are and not. This is something that's being discussed. I think it might actually have some merit under certain circumstances.
This plan, which Fauci personally believes might actually have some merit, would be akin to a national health ID. In an online article for thenewamerican.com, Dennis Barrett reports, quote, "This has been under development by international agencies, along with Gates Foundation, for several years. Planning for this is being done by ID 2020, an organization supported by Accenture, the Rockefeller Foundation, Microsoft Corporation, and others." As Barrett points out in his article, during an Ask Me Anything session on the website Reddit back in March, Bill Gates, the former head of Microsoft, remarked, quote, "Eventually, we will have some digital certificates to show who has recovered or been tested recently, or when we have a vaccine, who has received it." On April 11th, the Wall Street Journal published an article on how Apple and Google plan to track the coronavirus by developing an app for smartphones. According to the article, quote, "Such apps would warn users if they were nearby someone later diagnosed as positive for COVID-19. In fact, the journal began the article by asking, quote, "Do Apple Inc. and Alphabet Incorporated's Google hold the key for tracking the spread of COVID-19 and possibly reopening the global economy?" Since when did opening the economy depend upon sacrificing our freedoms, such as our right to privacy? The Fourth Amendment to the Constitution in the Bill of Rights unequivocally guarantees, quote, "the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated." Some are calling these draconian measures the new normal. But if it's new, then it really isn't normal, the way things were before this pandemic started. In fact, none of these proposals are constitutional or in keeping with a free society. Article 6, Clause 2, also known as the Supremacy Clause of the Constitution, plainly states that only, quote, "this Constitution and the laws of the United States, which shall be made in pursuance thereof, shall be the supreme law of the land." Former Congressman Ron Paul said it best on his April 7th episode of the Liberty Report.
It's based on authoritarianism, that government knows what's best and individuals are incapable of taking care of it. But it really boils down to this whole concept of who's responsible for protecting against risk. Yeah. And obviously in a free society, the individual is.
Exactly right. In a free society, it's up to individuals, not the government, to protect against risk. This is exactly why we shouldn't wait for Fauci, Gates, big tech, or the government to co-opt the narrative of the purported benefits of giving up our rights by submitting to a national health ID or coronavirus tracking through our cellular devices. If these go through, this may give rise to forced vaccinations. Use the link below to contact Congress and the President to tell them no to a national immunity certificate, smartphone tracking, or forced vaccinations. Until next time, stay healthy and God bless.